Morning, Victor. Good to see you. Alex, good to see you as well. I think you emailed me yesterday, so hopefully you were able to get my response on that. So, for those of you that is your first time here, welcome. Every Tuesday, we do what we do for our trading masterclass members Monday through Thursday. So, you're getting a taste of that. This is our live pre-market stream that we have in the trading masterclass. So, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Tuesdays on YouTube. And what we do basically is just go over the top movers for the day, what's going to be on our watch list for day trading stocks, potential option plays. We're going to cover some Bitcoin a little bit. Excuse me. And just really going through our process in terms of how we select what trades we're going to be looking at for that particular day. Then after that, we'll probably do some open Q&A. In terms of open Q&A, the formula is pretty straightforward. If you want me to examine any instrument, doesn't matter what instrument it is, doesn't matter what asset class it is, you just got to give me the symbol, the time frame you want me to analyze it, 1 sentence description, bullish or bearish. If you're in the trade, give me entry, stop loss, and take profit so I can analyze that. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to take a look at that. We're going to spend some time talking about Bitcoin. We're going to spend some time talking about canvas stocks, which are doing really good. Space, which Space is Virgin Galactic's stock symbol ticker. And that's got a little bit of a bump right now because they've announced their first flight, which they've had delays, but now they're, starting to take information reservations for their first potential flight. So you're going to see a lot of pent up buying demand on Space. And so that's going to be interesting. Then we got some other movies here and a couple I want to take a look at specifically. So, Chris, morning to you. Morning to Bruce, Jeremy, Ramin, Nico, Constantine, and Tom. Good to see everybody here. Okay, so first off, looking at our BNGO Pro app, in the movers section here, what we will have in terms of volume is I don't touch anything unless it's moving at least 600,000 shares in pre-market. That's kind of like an absolute base minimum. So our first is Frsx. Its average volume over the last 3 months, in other words, average daily volume over the last 3 months is 13.2 million. So it's below, it's not even, what is that, maybe 5%? Maybe it's roughly 5% of its average daily volume. So it's pretty low, but we'll see how it builds over time as we get closer to pre-market. If we get closer to pre-market and starts to build, then it might have, something that pushes average daily volume days. We have TLSA, we have Jivo, Lizzie, Vaxart, and Whole, and we're going to look at Frsx and Jivo and Vaxart, which has been, Vaxart is one that's been building since yesterday, and today's getting a continuation on it. So we'll take a look at that. And first, let's start off looking at Bitcoin real quick. So Bitcoin is now slowly starting to build its case for an upside, and we had talked about Bitcoin last week. Here's the weekly chart. And we said the key thing on this rally last week was that it needs to close above the monthly VWAP. And it just hasn't been able to do it for the last 2 weeks. So this one closed below monthly VWAP, rallied, broke above last week's high, really good from a technical perspective. But then it just got rejected. There was a fair amount of selling pressure, and most of those gains were lost, and it closed below weekly VWAP. So our big thing, we were saying, like, look, it needs to close above the monthly VWAP to kind of add a little more technical upside. If that's the case and it can do that, then basically what we're talking about is these last few weeks, these were attempts to rally and they failed, but there was still interest in rallying it and trying to push it higher. And so the base, I think if we can close above 35 this week, then I think short term there is a base in place around 29.9, 30K. So that, any dips to there, I would, especially if they're corrective, then I would look to buy, assuming we can get this close above 35 this week. So that's kind of what's going on in Bitcoin, but nice strong rally to start the day. Good rally, corrective pullback. Intraday buyers came in off VWAP and it bounced a little bit. Now we're a little bit chopped. So we'll see how it ends up playing out, but it's slowly trying to build an upside case there. It's got more work to do. I'm not ready to add more to my Bitcoin position, but I feel like it's still got some work to do. And if it can do that, then I'll start consider adding. So one on the list, not on the list, BNGO. This is stock roll long, Bionanogenomics. So this is having a really good rally pre-market. So let's take a look at this. This is a 5-minute chart. Gonna mark the pre-market highs. Nice rally with pretty good volume. Little breakout, mini breakout pattern here, probably in the 1 minute chart. Maybe a potential scalp setup there. 13.29. So that's the intraday high, and it's sold off 70.80 since then. So let's take a look at the weekly and see what's going on that intraday high, which actually, yeah. So here's the intraday high, and this is last week's high. So it's only 60 cents away. And here's the prior all-time highs. Volume was pretty good off the lows, but it's been kind of fading the last few weeks. These 2 weeks have been steady, but it's been fading a little bit. So I'm leaning towards dips on this one here. I'd like to see a dip maybe towards these prior all-time highs around 10.37. So I'll set an alert there to see if it gets there. Otherwise, I'm going to want this thing to build. I do like the 4-hour structure. This is a nice rally off of this kind of 10 level. Pretty strong rally on the day. So I got alerts if it breaks the highs, and then I got alerts if it dips. Inside the middle of this, I probably don't want to trade a whole lot, maybe 11.6 or 11.7 or something like that. But by and large, I'd rather wait for breakout of this corrective structure or dip towards the bottom of it and then look to potentially get long on this one here. So it does have a history of fading back its rallies, fading back its rallies, fading back its rallies. So I'm going to watch this one a little bit, but it's definitely on the list. We're already long BNGO via stock and options. So not ready to add to the position, but we're going to keep it. So for now, I'm going to move it over to the right because it's not like an immediate need. Tabs that are on the left are ones that I immediately want to watch, and ones on the right are ones I want to watch, but they may not be the hottest movers on the day. Frsx, this is on the movers. And so volume's a little on the low side. We talked about this, 672. It's about 5%. It's up 9% pre-market. So why is it up? There was some news on Frsx that they had something going on with their technology or something like that, I think. Yeah, there we go. Foresight Times reports its iNet mobile subsidiary signed deal with Wundercar Mobility Systems to launch scale new mobile services. Terms goes. So it's basically part of the EV car space, and they have vision systems that I'm assuming are going to help with full self-driving. That's the tech that is going to be the tech of the future. And so they're also talking about bikes as well. So interesting. Hence the name Wunda. Okay. So some positive news, and it's getting a little bit of boost from that. And we could see, the news comes out. Nice rally. It's about $1 rally. A little bit of rejection off the top. Might be some profit taking. Depends on how this builds. So what am I interested on this one here? Let's take a look at the weekly real quick. We'll step back. I like the 1 hour. I like the 4-hour structure, but I want to see what's going on in the weekly. That's pre-market highs. Pre-market highs is right near all-time highs. All-time highs is 11.72. So if we can build a lot of pressure here and then break out, that could be interesting. Otherwise, potential return back to value and then potentially get long. Volume has been increasing since it started to get exposure from COVID, but then the last several weeks, we've had some big volume spikes. You can kind of see the building in volume, and then you can see the big volume spikes. People coming in with decent size. So, and it's gaining off that. So, yeah, gains a week, retraces a little bit, gains a week, retraces a little bit. So probably prefer a dip on this one here, or maybe another big weekly gain and then retrace a little bit on this one here. But overall, the 1 hour and 4 hour looks pretty good. This is the 1 hour. So I think the way to look at this kind of is, yeah, you can kind of see that. It's a little messy. It's not my favorite. It's not my favorite, but there is clear buying interest mid to high sevens. So with that being said, I'm leaning towards, looking for a play down to mid to high sevens. So I'll put an alert around 821. And if it gets over here, it's kind of, it's going to need to stabilize above here because it hasn't been able to spend much time above here. Every time it gets above $9, $10, it sells off. Here it's able to stabilize gains over a few weeks now. But once we get above 10, it seems to kind of struggle with that up in that kind of air or atmosphere, so to say. So I'm preferring a dip more down towards 782. So once I get to low eights, I'll have the alert go off and then let me know and see what's going on. That's kind of what I'm preferring on this one here. But I don't feel like taking an intraday break on this one here. Like if it breaks 933, it would have to do so, and it would have to look really, really good. And it's looking better. It's looking better on the 5 minutes. So maybe early market, maybe for a scalp play. So we'll keep this one towards the mid-range. It's not bad. GVO has had a pretty good move. The volume is not gangster, if I remember. Yeah, it's 134. So 3% of its average daily volume. So not a whole lot of people are getting involved in this relative to its average daily volume. So that is a little concerning to me. 5 minute double top around 1220. Yeah, it's trying to build a case, but 4 hours not bad. And weekly, real quick. It's a lot of intra-week rallies that are sold. Maybe a short squeeze or something like that. But volume is building on this one here. So, it's got a decent case. Like there's just no volume. Now we're getting actual volume. And volume's slowly increasing. It's not gangster, but this is going to be a tough, meaty area for it. 14 is going to be some pretty stiff resistance. So 1071's not bad. I prefer more of a dip to 918. That's kind of what I'm leaning towards. So okay, we already got an alert in there. Structure on the 4 hours kind of mixed. It's not my favorite. It's okay. Again, this is one of those where I prefer a dip instead of trying to trade a break on this one. Yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna move it a little further down the list. I definitely like BNGO better than that. Vaxart was building some pretty good pressure, but approaching all-time highs, or at least recent structural highs. What is that? 1938. Yeah. So it shot up pre-market above multi-year highs. Last time it was above here was 17. And with this kind of like horns play, so to say, I'm generally not someone who's going to trade that breakout where it's been like it hits a high, pulls back, and it's been a while before it gets at a high. I'm generally not going to trade that breakout. It's generally not my setup. So I probably wouldn't touch this until we can get a pullback till 12 or something like that. There's no major volume buildup. It's just steady, and then one big jump. So it could have been a short squeeze or something like that. Maybe it was targeted by Wall Street bets, but I'm just not seeing a lot of things in there that I'd normally like to see. So Vaxart, I'm going to push way back. We've already looked at GVO. Why do I have 2 GVOs? What are you doing? Frsx, I like. Let's take a look at some of the cannabis stocks, which are moving pretty well. So TLRY, I'm long TLRY via stock and options. Okay, so looking at the 1 hour chart, we had a nice pulsive run here, corrected pullback, stabilizing new base. So instead of moving down, we now stabilize at around 18. It seems to just keep playing with 18 and 20, and then it gets sold off at 20, comes back to 18, gets sold off at 20, comes back to 18, gets sold off at 20. It's 4 rejections now. Now we're just kind of holding there, which is a little bit different. Like if you look at these prior intraday trips, they all got sold pretty quickly. Now we're just hovering there. So there's a little bit more of an ability to maintain those gains. Granted, it's pre-market, but it's holding it a little bit better. So with the base being higher than this kind of base here, it seems like it's wanting to now slowly press into here. I still don't want to add at this point. I probably wouldn't add any TLRY in my position until we get to like 18 again. But it seems like it's wanting to build a case and reattack this 21.7. Hasn't been above it since the 15th of this month. But if it can build a case to now stabilize above here, then it makes it much easier for it to attack 22.4 and recent structural highs. So we do have a couple transitions and a slightly higher base on this one here. That's kind of what I'm like on TLRY. I'm liking my position on TLRY right now. I'm liking this, overall building of, it's kind of an accumulation of longs. Dip buyers came in, now they're accumulating, building. So I'm liking this overall from a structural standpoint on a 1 hour chart. Okay. So we have a few questions. Give me one more. Let's do Frsx. It's another one. It's like a smiley thing on the chart. Frsx is also another one I'm long right now via stock. I don't know if I have options on this one here. I'm not sure it has the best option premium right now. 1398. So 15, it's got some overhang resistance at 15 and 16. And then, yeah, big spike to 20, and that's it. So let's take a look at 4 hour. 4 hour looks pretty decent. Very similar to TLRY. So kind of very similar to TLRY. It's not quite as clearly defined. Like it's more of just a stable structural base. Yeah. If I was to add any more, maybe on a dip to low 12s, high 11s would be my consideration. But this selling pressure of making lower highs, lower lows stabilized here. So, and then now it's again building a higher base similar to TLRY. So it seems like the cannabis space right now is kind of consolidating some of those early year gains and shaking out probably some weak players who are getting impatient in this pullback. And, medium-term, long-term players will still accumulate positions, but it's going to need to break above 13 and a quarter because this is just similar to TLRY, which was 20. This 13 and a quarter keeps rejecting it. And so, and it's also had a tendency to hold the gains between low 12s and low 13s. So, yeah, it's going to need to build some upside pressure. We're going to need a daily close above this. Then you got 14 and a quarter. And if you can clear out all that, then I think we have room to make a decent run because you got 15 there. And then after 15, 16, 17, 1685 this would probably offer some resistance, some profit taking for sure. Definitely some longs would take profits here. The question is, will the sellers be emboldened to come step in? Because you are seeing a consistent build of volume over time. And you can see the peaks are getting higher. Like here, volume's steady. It's getting a little bit thicker, brief dip, and then just big increase in volume. So the overall increase in volume is a very good sign. And so I think this is going to continue to build its upside case. So I like this one. I like being long right now. Once we get past 20, you have all-time highs. So yeah, I think it's probably going to have some pullbacks inside this. I don't see it just rocketing up here. I can see it having several pullbacks along the way. But overall, I like Frsx. I think in terms of the cannabis space, it's, I have longs in ACB, I have longs in APHA, and I have longs in TLRY. So that's kind of what I'm holding in the cannabis space right now. Okay, so let's hit some questions up. How are we doing? 9 minutes of market open. Slump saying, hey, Chris. Old student of yours from 2011. That's a long time. I still use your techniques in my daily routine. Question. Do you trade Ethereum? No, not right now. Mostly trading Bitcoin. I think the crypto space as a whole is going to have a bullish year. That means that I don't see crypto space closing the year. This is just my opinion, but I don't see crypto space closing the year below its current levels, at least Bitcoin and Ethereum. I see crypto closing the year higher than where it is right now. So I like the crypto space. Right now, I'm only invested in Bitcoin, but I also like Ethereum as well. So yeah, if I could find a good proxy for Ethereum that didn't have a massive premium, like In Bitcoin, you have GBTC, which has a much smaller premium than, say, so GBTC is the grayscale Bitcoin trust designed to mimic and follow the price of Bitcoin. ETHE, which is the kind of parallel ETF or trust for Ethereum, it doesn't track it that well and it has a very bad premium to what you're paying versus buying spot. So I prefer, finding something that has a good kind of not so much a high premium to trade it, not so much a discrepancy in price. So someone high says, what do you think about COUV and ALPP? So one, the rule is if you want me to analyze any stock or any instrument, symbol, time frame, 1 cent subscription, bullish or bearish, I'll take a look at it. Oh, Tom did that already for you. Thank you for doing that, Tom. It's much appreciated. Constantine wants to look at Brent. Sure. Do I have Brent on? No. Okay. Should be in my commodities. Where are you? All right. That's corn. Okay, well, okay. Let's take a look. Weekly. Rarely get people on to look at such higher time frames. Sell from 58.50. What do you think? Not my favorite. In short term, you got some really strong bullish pressure on this one here. Impulsive, a little bit of a bleed here, counter and corrective. Impulsive, breakout pattern right there. Impulsive leg up with consolidation, corrective structure at the top and building. Yeah, short term, I wouldn't trade against this. I would not trade against it, especially with yeah, I wouldn't trade against this right now. Not my favorite. I think if you're going to touch Brent, I think you need to look at like these peaks. That would be the next place I would even consider. That would be the next location I would even consider a short. Any one of these peaks would be locations I would consider short, but right now that momentum is really strong. Yeah, I wouldn't trade against that. Because you have the corrective structure at the top of the most recent impulsive move. 2 weekly attempts to rally, they failed, but this week's building strong. Yeah, if you just look at from this point on, this point forward, bulls are in control. Bulls are in control. Until I see a change in that structure, I don't see myself wanting to short this right now. Yeah, that's my thoughts on that one. You are welcome, good sir. Jake, good to see you. DVAX. Yeah, it's one of those shorted stock lists. 1 hour, around 975. Let's take a look. 975. Location's good. Let me look at the 5-minute real quick. Yeah, impulsive corrective structure at the top. Nice impulsive run out. Wider corrective structure. So there's a little bit more two-way action. Here, there's no two-way action here. It's just so small. It's maintaining most of the gains. This is a lot more two-way action. But you had a big rally yesterday. And so this is from here to here, it's almost 100% increase in price. So to have it consolidate from say 11.75 to 10.25. So of a $5 move, and it's consolidating $10.75. It's consolidating about a third of the move. Okay, it's not bad. The smaller this corrective structure at the top, the better it is for the bullish. But I like the location. Let's take a look at 5-minute. I think this one is I would have a tight stop on. So let's say you want to get long right around here. I wouldn't have a stop. This is just my opinion, but I don't see any point in having a stop loss below 957. That's just me. If I was going to trade this, I'm not quite ready to trade this yet, but I like the overall structure. There are some concerns short term. Is there anything else I'm missing? Yeah, I don't really see like 95936 would be my smallest stop. So if you did like 935 and you got a 975, that'd be a 40-cent target or a 40-cent stop loss. And let's say you're targeting this upside here. So that would give you $1.35 roughly, $1.40. So 40-cent downside, $1.30 upside. It's a 3-hour trade. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's it's not like gangster, but it's not bad. And if it could build and put pressure and take this out, then I think you got something here. But it's not quite there yet. It's lost most of its pre-market gains. Once it hit that high, it pretty much just quick gap and then it's been selling off ever since. So some profit taking on this one here. So $5.5, $6 move. It's retraced to $1.75 of it, about a third of it. Yeah. Location's good though. Overall, I like your location. I like this to build a little bit as well. But overall, I like your location. So not bad. Not bad at all. Tesla. I'm looking Tesla since it's been a couple days. Tesla's been struggling a little bit. Daily consolidation uptrend. Let's take a look. Yeah, overall, I have to agree with that. The dip to 780 was bought. So you have impulsive breakout structure, building air, breakout. We talked about this channel for a while. Buy dips on the bottom of the channel. Now we're pausing a little bit of the momentum. Let me check out 4-hour in this real quick. But so far, I don't see anything in the trend that suggests the trend is over yet. It's still strong. That's a wide pullback. But Tesla's volatile. 805 down to 780. Okay, so that's not uncommon for Tesla to violate a structure like that. I'm not a fan of buying at the current location. Yeah, I don't like buying at the current location. I think in terms of this consolidation, because normally you'd want to draw a consolidation like this, but then you have that kind of little shark tooth on the bottom there. So I'd like to see this build a little bit and maybe stabilize, above all this. So if it can do that and stabilize above all this, then there might be a base to trade from here to here and for a potential breakout higher. Otherwise, and the market's open. Otherwise, you kind of have to wait for a dip back down to 780. It's got some work to do, but the trend isn't over yet. There's no major destabilization of this trend. So it's hard not to be anything but bullish until we see that change. So yeah. Overall, I have to agree here, G. Okay, we'll take Ramin, we'll take Javier, and then I got to wrap it up. Okay, so Ramin wants to look at XAUUSD. Gold's having a little bit of a pullback from yesterday's gains. Gold's kind of in a struggling spot. You wanted to look at 4-hour. Yeah, we're seeing some transfer. We've seen some transfer of gold out of gold and into Bitcoin. I think people are just starting to look at that in a slightly different way. Short term, we do have a stabilization here. So low 18s, 18.15 or something like that, 18, 20. So that is a transition. We're no longer making lower highs and lower lows. We've stabilized to the side. But this latest rally from, just a few days ago, whatever that is, has pretty much fizzled, and so now we're kind of sitting here. So from a short-term perspective, impulsive, corrective, it seems like there's some pressure on gold. If I had to guess, I think there's a fair amount of funds leaving gold and going to Bitcoin. That's kind of what I'm sensing on this. So yeah, short-term, it's under pressure though. I think if somebody wanted to sell, I think that'd be your earliest location. Trade this corrective structure here, basically. Sell top, buy bottom, or sell top, take profit kind of thing. And if you start to get a squeeze to the downside, then start looking for 18 and then 1760. This is just my opinion on this one. If I was to trade it, I'm not quite ready to trade it yet to the long or the short side. I'd like to see a little bit of develop in the structure, but yeah. Yeah. Okay. MBIO, and then we will wrap it up because we got to get to live trading for trading masterclass members. Why are you not loading? MBIO 5-minute. Hold on a second. Let me see if. Okay. So MBIO 500K volume so far. Average 10-day volume is 4 million. I mean, a lot of these rallies have been sold. So look at 1 hour real quick. I'm not seeing any huge buildup in volume. Is there some news on MBIO? Wait. There we go. Mustang Bio announces FDA removes clinical hold for pivotal phase 2. Okay. So that's today. There's some positive news, but it's not attracting a gangster amount of interest. Yeah, 500K. It's getting there. I mean, it may hit 3. This might be like a late bloomer in the day. Might be one of those. But look at these last 3 attempts to rally, you know. Boom, boom, boom. So yeah, it's okay. I personally wouldn't want to touch it till about $4. I don't know. And I'm going to need to see some volume on that. You know, volume is just, it's just continue to decline. So yeah, not totally crazy about it. I'd like to see this develop a little bit. Like Frsx, TLRY, BNGO, those all had solid structures that I'm enjoying, you know, that I want to get in. But today isn't exactly a huge volume day, at least pre-market. So this might be one of those days where things build a little bit. Like we have one that's ahead of average daily volume. We have one that's close. We have one that's close. And one that's well above it. So not many that were pre-market that were building massive amount of institutional interest. So my sense on the day is let some of these things build. It's going to take a little bit. We might get a runner 30 minutes, 1 hour, hour and a half in or something like that. So be a little bit patient on the day. Be really picky. Not, you know, it's not like I saw 10 things, you know, or 20 stocks that were all moving kind of in sync and all closing higher. So yeah, that's kind of what I'm that's what I'm seeing in terms of the markets right now. So I think you might have to be a little bit patient today and just pick your cherries instead of having so many targets to hit. And it's like, which one do I choose? It's kind of like a little bit here, not quite here, and this and like that. So be patient on today's day. Okay, so that's pretty much it. I gotta bust out. I gotta go to live trading for the trading masterclass members. So I will see you guys next Tuesday for a live session. Keep in mind, trading masterclass live pre-market stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and live trading Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday for them as well. So that's pretty much it. Good luck trading today. If you enjoyed today's session, hit that like button. We appreciate it. It shows us the love. Again, we do this for free. I don't get paid for this here or anything like that. This is for your benefit and the community. So I hope you get something out of it. So hit the like button. Other than that, good luck trading. Subscribe to our channel, and I will see you guys next Tuesday. Take care, everyone.